What is up, everyone? It is Quinn again, and today we are in for another video. If you guys watched my last video, you know that I had went and rebuilt the shifter on this Miata, and so far, this thing's still doing very well. I've pretty much been daily driving this car. I actually got to hit 176,000 miles on it this week, and this thing's been really great. Had no oil leaks and no coolant leaks. Everything's been pretty good. It's been a very reliable car. But this is not the car that I want to talk about. I want to talk to you guys about my new car. And here it is. Yep, after a long time, about a month or two of wanting a Corvette, I finally went and got one. But not the one that you guys probably expected me to get. And I'll tell you why. So over a little bit of a month ago, I finally released a video of me driving my first ever Corvette, and that was a 1999 C5 Corvette with 16,000 miles with a 4-speed 4L60 automatic transmission. I actually really enjoyed that car, and that car was really just a test to see if I would really like Corvettes or not. As it turns out, excuse me, I really did. And I've always liked the C4 Corvettes, but that video actually ended up being one of my most popular videos I've ever made, surprisingly. And it was just a little POV video that I never really expected anyone to really watch, for real. I mean, even this video, the last video I did with this car, got about the usual views I normally get. It was about 23. Well, it's at 30 right now. But I didn't expect that video to get so many views, and I know you guys have probably been anticipating me getting me a C5 Corvette, and you guys subscribed to the channel. A lot of you guys did. I mean, when I first uploaded that video, I was at 99, and now I'm at 122, and that's crazy. Thank you guys. But here's how I ended up with a C4. So I've been looking at C5s for a while. Those 3 of them I was looking at. No, they were all 99s. 2 of them were pewter. One had a 4L60E, but it had like, I think 60,000 miles. And then there was another one that had the 6-speed. And that one had about 40,000 miles. And then there was a red hardtop, red fixed roof coupe that I was looking at too. They had about 70,000 miles. But all those cars were around $20,000 plus. The pewter manual was the most expensive. But while I was doing my search, I ended up coming across an ad for this car right here being sold at a dealership about 5 miles away from where I live at right now. And they only wanted about less than 10K for this thing. And I had to go check it out. I pretty much fell in love with this car at first sight. I mean, the C4s, I know it's pretty controversial, but the C4 Corvette is my favorite Corvette of all time. I know it's kind of crazy because, I mean, this is everybody's least favorite Corvette. And I'm over here saying that this is my favorite one, but I'm an 80s type of guy. I really am. I love listening to synthwave, vaporwave, city pop, and future funk. So I'm always been into the 80s aesthetic. It's one of the reasons I like my Miata so much as well. But I ended up getting this car for a little bit less than 10K. So it was like way less than like half the price of the Corvettes that I was looking at. And to be honest with you, it's kind of like an older version of that red fixed roof coupe I was looking at. So this is an 89 Corvette C4 convertible, but it's got the hardtop. And from what I heard, these things cost a lot more with the hardtop. At least with Haggerty, it says that values are $1,000 more with the hardtop. But this isn't just, you know, a completely basic C4 Corvette. Just, it's not clapped at all. I mean, look at it. It is in immaculate condition. Whoever owned this thing, and this was also a big thing too, is that I wanted a car that was pretty much owned by an old person that took care of it and did a whole bunch of stuff to it. So this is my 89 Corvette convertible with the hardtop, and check it out. It's got a pretty much pristine interior in here. Like nothing's torn apart except for this right here. I actually broke that yesterday when I was getting into it, but everything else is pretty much immaculate. The only thing is this, the headliner is starting to come apart a little bit on the hardtop, but that's not really a big problem. Whoever had this car did a lot of work to it. And actually, when I was noticing was they did the bread box delete on this thing too. There was a little cushion where the passenger airbag would have been if it was on a newer car. But check this out. Here's the main reason why I even bought this car. It is a 6-speed manual. Isn't that crazy? That's the main reason I bought this car, is because it was a 6-speed. If it was an automatic, it probably would have been a little bit of a harder choice. But the fact that this was a manual, I mean, I've always wanted a C4 Corvette, particularly the 80s ones. And I got it. It has 88,000 miles. Whoever had it took really good care of it. Like, look at the carpet. That's just amazing. I'm going to open up this hood. I can't do it while holding a camera. So whenever I get it open, I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so I got the hood ready to be popped up. So I had the latch. I already unlatched it and now I unhooked it from the latches. Now this hood is actually very, very heavy. And if it ever fell down on you, you'll probably die. I'm not even going to lie, especially with these sharp edges. But we got it up. So this is the L98 350 5.7 liter engine. It makes 245 horsepower and 340 foot-pounds of torque. And just look at it. It's beautiful. Whoever had this car, you can tell, took care of it. It's got headers, a full exhaust, and it's also cammed. So this thing actually kind of scoots, to be honest with you. This thing's been pretty good so far. I finally took it out on the road yesterday, and I've been driving it pretty much about a few hours since I left work yesterday. But yeah, this thing's been pretty well. It's got brand new parts, new alternator, new pulleys, and all that stuff. And everything works. It fires and starts pretty good too. It's got a new battery. Looks like it was replaced in May this year. They said the previous owner of this car traded it in for a C5 himself. So he upgraded and ended up just getting this thing. So yeah, this thing's been pretty fun. This is definitely the fastest car that I've ever had. It is way faster than the Civic. I've missed that Civic, especially being able to drive it without any worries. But this car is just so much more fun and way more unique and special than that Civic. That Civic, be honest with you, I felt like regular traffic driving that Civic. I really did. But it was a great car. It was a great car nonetheless. But yeah, when I first got this car, it started overheating, and I took it right back to the dealership, but they ended up fixing that problem, and the car's been great ever since. I really had no trouble dealing with this car. I actually have only one concern with this car, and that's the VAT system. And I already have a VAT bypass coming in. Matter of fact, I think that's what's being delivered right now because he's right in front of my door. So that's pretty much the only thing I have to worry about with this thing. Everything else works great. Heat works good, AC works, especially since it's a really hot day today. But this thing's been pretty fun these last few days I've been driving it. It's got some LED headlights, so it shines really bright at night. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm going to let you guys hear. I'm about to start it up for you. And the next video will be a POV video. And it'll be kind of like a review on how this thing drives. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. I'm sorry for you C5 guys who watched my video and was expecting me to get a C5 and I ended up getting a C4. I apologize for that. But I just could not resist this deal. $10K for a car like this, and just look at the way the hood opens up. I mean, it completely exposes the front wheels. And I really think that's cool. I really do. That's always been one of my favorite things about these cars. They really feel exotic for what it is. That crazy 80s style, that all the wedges and all of that. I just love it. I really do. But I'm going to get this thing started so you guys can hear what it sounds like. So my favorite thing about this car is how it sounds. It sounds really mean, especially for a car with such low horsepower, but it's got a lot of torque. But this thing is great. It doesn't make any knocking noises. It runs pretty good here. It just sounds good. Doesn't leak any coolant, doesn't make any weird smells. Doesn't smell like burnt oil. This thing's been great. So this car is the 80s model, so it's got the digital gauge cluster, and it still works, and it works really well. And this thing actually gets some pretty good gas mileage too for what the car is. Turn that off, and then let you guys see what it looks like. But yeah, everything works really well. Nothing's wrong with it. It's got the information center right here. It's got a whole bunch of toggles too, so you can check your coolant temperature, your oil temperature. You can check your battery voltage, then your instant fuel mileage. As you can see, I've been getting shitty mileage because I pretty much just been driving in the city. We got your range for how much fuel you'll have, how much miles you have until empty. And you also have your trip odometer, but that's not working. Oh wow. But yeah, this thing works. Everything works in here, and I think that's amazing. Nothing's overheating. It's got automatic climate control. It's pretty primitive, but it works really well. This car is pretty much about the coolest car I've ever had. You can see the security system with the VATs, and then you also have the little plaque that tells you what the car has. This is a 89. Don't know where they got this from, because this is not from the this isn't from this model year, because 89s had 245 and 340, so this is probably from like an older one. But yeah, this thing's great. It's pretty awesome. It's got some storage in the back, not much because this is a convertible. And to be honest with you, this car is it's really cool. I'm not even gonna lie. First car I've ever had without a glove box. That's something that's gonna have to get used to. But yeah, this is my brand new Corvette. Well, this is my new to me C4 Corvette, and I love this thing so far. So I'm hoping this thing will be kind of like a Miata 2.0, an 80 sports car that doesn't have any problems for real, and when it does, it's not too expensive, because this car has been dead reliable. It's never left me stranded at all. So I'm hoping this car can be like a part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Excuse me for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys aren't too mad at me for getting a C4 instead of a C5. But I think I'll leave it there. If you guys want to see some more content on both of these cars, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.